All right, moving on to episode 3. Dustin gets a pet. This I really like Dustin. I honestly think that he's the character that constantly is always making me smile, making me laugh. I think he might be like my favorite character. Him and Eleven. I'm a big fan of both of them. So I'm really liking that he's getting more screen time in this season. His comedy is, on point. All the lines that they give him, he just crushes. I laugh. I have such a good time with that kid. He's just fun. I like to see Will and Bob bonding. That's sweet. I like that. His dad's a shithead, and here comes this really good guy who genuinely seems to care about him, and he tries to give him this advice, and hilariously, and I did like this, that the advice didn't work. So many movies and so many shows where the kid like puts his eyes over his kid and go away, go away, go away. They always tell him to like cover it up or look away or whatever, and then the kid does it and the thing's always gone. And in this one, he's like, they even do like the flashback, and it's like almost like showing you that it's gonna work, and then it just doesn't, and the shit fills his face up. I was like, like they never do that. It's always the moment where they overcome it and it goes away. So happy to see it not happen this time. Um, and then yeah, we got. I also like how affected Nancy is by Barb's death, and ultimately like her body is missing, and there's no closure, and she feels like she's hiding this secret from the parents who are grieving and are missing their daughter. And there's so many shows where characters will die or something will happen horrible to characters, and in the moment when it happens they seem upset, but then an episode or two will pass, or like the next season will come and it'll just be like it never happened, even though the next season only takes place like a couple days later. So it was really good just to see Nancy giving a shit. Like, she can't handle it. She's just broken, and it just has affected her so much. So I really like that they and it gives a reason for Nancy to still be in this. Obviously, I mean, her character could have been written out if need be, but because she's a character that was popular and people like her, like they had to give her something to do, and so she wants to, she can't let this go. And obviously, she's gonna do more in the future. She's not going to let this go. She's going to go, and she's going to try to either go into the Upside Down to retrieve her body, or she's going to expose this this corporation or these government or whatever the hell this thing is. Yeah. And speaking of not letting things go, Eleven is not letting Mike go. She is like, nope, I am going to see him. She leaves the house. And then she sees him with another chick, and she gets jealous. And I was like, oh man, you do not want that girl after you. It's like, stay away, because she is scary, man. A really funny scene here with, as I said, I grew up in the 80s, so it was like funny to watch her try to take the VHS-C little mini tape and try to put it in the way. And she's like, why isn't this working? I found that funny. I like that. This show is in the 80s, and instead of just throwing in nostalgic references so that people are like, I remember that and I remember that, which is cool, but instead of just doing that, which they definitely do that a decent amount, but they also take things from the 80s that were like inconveniences or something that was around us, and they incorporate it into the plot elements, like the static on the TV. I mean, we all have like Blu-ray players and 4K TVs now where we don't even know what static is anymore. But like old VHS tapes like had shitty quality, and you'd have to adjust tracking, and there'd be all sorts of mess ups on the screen, and in this, those were incorporated to where she like traced the screen and saw the monster from the static on the TV. So I thought that was cool that they take little things that we used to have to deal with and incorporate it in a clever way. I thought that was smart. So yeah, I wanted to add this on. I was gonna say it in my last video and I totally forgot, but in the last episode, the kids go to school in costumes and no one is in costumes and they're embarrassed and they have to walk around. That actually happened to me. I went out to the bar one night and I went fully dressed up as Wilfred the dog from Wilfred television show with Elijah Wood. And I got there and I had like the black nose and the full Wilfred costume, and like I got there and I couldn't leave for a bit. And so like I walked in and no one, it was like a Friday night and like Halloween was like on Monday and they always do, you know, Halloween costumes on like the Friday nights or whatever. But for some reason, everyone seemed to get the memo besides me. And I walked in and instead of like running out of there, I walked up to the bar and I ordered a bowl of water. And that pretty much lightened everyone up. So anyway, I just thought that was funny. When I saw that, I was like, I feel you, kids. But anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to go watch episode 4.